A lot is on the line. Eagles, Cowboys, week 14. Will the Birds bounce back, head into Arlington, and stomp Dallas, or will things get all knotted up? What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome to A to Z Philly. You know the drill. Drop a like if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the coverage. We will be live halftime postgame on Sunday night. Why does the game feel like it is an eternity away? Why does it feel so far away? I wish we could fast forward to Sunday afternoon, prepping, getting ready for this showdown. It is going to be a big one, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to start off and say I believe the Eagles will bounce back in this game, but they have a lot to prove this week for sure. After getting blown out by the Niners, a lot of people are low on the Eagles, and you know, they look at the Cowboys coming into this game. The Cowboys don't really lose at home, and Dak has been playing good football, and I give the Cowboys credit. I always say they have good talent, they have a good team, but it is their fan base, it is their organization, it is their ownership, all of it combined makes them the most unbearable team in sports. And I hate them. Yes, I hate them. Okay. Even as an analyst, whatever you want to call it. Okay. I just can't stand the Dallas Cowboys. And if they win this game, they are going to be so unbearable. And this game holds so much stock for many reasons, which we will get into. But ladies and gentlemen, drop your score prediction. Will the Birds bounce back and get a tough W in Dallas on Sunday night? Drop your comments down below. Score prediction, bold take prediction, all of those down below. And before we jump into some news and some preview, a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up with the code ATOZPA. Receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with the bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If you don't win your first bet, visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You know me, I'm sticking to my roots. I'm going with an A.J. Brown touchdown in this game. He did have one last time against Bland, who gave up 3 tutties last week. And I'll also go with a Jaylen Hurts anytime touchdown. The brotherly shove is automatic. They still can't figure it out. Other teams can't solve the equation, but the Eagles have the secret formula. All right, let's talk about this game, man. So one big piece of news before we jump into it. Christian Ellis was waived by the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They now add Shaq Leonard to the squad, and you know, the Eagles hoped that Christian Ellis, per Nick Sirianni, would clear waivers, and they thought they'd be able to bring him back to the practice squad. But a lot of teams, 6 teams, put in a claim, and he is now with the New England Patriots. He is gone, and the Eagles are going to have to replace him, not as a linebacker, right, where he had to fill in last week, but now on special teams. He was one of the Eagles' best special teamers. That is a huge hit. They will have to find the answer. When it comes to the linebackers in general, though, let's look at the injury report. This was as of yesterday, so we'll get another one later today updated. But as of right now, Darius Slay did not participate yesterday. He has a knee injury, a little bit banged up, but more so in terms of rest, as they say. Fletch was a limited participant. Cunningham was limited. That'll be huge. I mean, the fact that they waived Ellis probably means that, you know, Cunningham is going to be back. They're confident in that. Plus, they have Shaq Leonard as well, Nick Morrow, and then Goddard was a full participant. So as he said, he might not feel 100%, but he is going to be back. He knows the magnitude of this game, how important it is. He will be back. Jack Stoll should be playing as well. So that's really what it looks like for the Eagles. Julio Jones out with a groin injury, did not participate, but he might be available. We'll see. But in terms of the linebacker group, will Shaq Leonard get snaps? I think he will. I think they're going to try to, muscle him in there, even though if it's a little short term. And I think Morrow's going to play. He's got to bounce back after that putrid game last week. Overall, he's been better than, expected earlier in the season. But, that's why you bring Shaq Leonard in, right? And Shaq Leonard chose the Eagles over the Cowboys. So this is going to be a huge first test for him. Meanwhile, let's talk about this game. The Philadelphia Eagles, 10-2. The Cowboys are 9-3. we look at the standings. Here's why the game is so impactful, okay? Here's why it really matters, because the Eagles have a 1-game cushion. If they lose this, they are tied. The Niners could win, the Lions could win, and then you're really fumbling that number 1 seed. You know how important it is. We saw last year, the injury-wise, and everybody banged up. Just having that extra week or maybe even 2 weeks of rest, depending on how the rest of the season goes, will mean everything for this Eagles team heading into the playoffs, rested and healthy. But I still believe they can beat anybody, and they need to step it up. In this game, the Eagles need to get going quickly, okay? You go down 7, you go down 10, like you have been doing at halftime in Dallas, it's going to be a tough environment to, come out of that rut. And I think that the Philadelphia Eagles need to get to Dak Prescott. Last time they played, it was 28-23. We remember that heart attack ending of the game. The Eagles still found a way to win. Dallas didn't take the opportunity. The Eagles had 5 sacks in that game. They were all on 3rd down. And, when Dak Prescott sees a lot of pressure, he's a completely different quarterback. Now, I'll give him credit. Right now, he is playing his tail off. Okay, he is. And I'll give him that credit. Here are the numbers. They're almost identical, actually. When you look at Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, 3,400 yards total, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions for Hurts. You have 28 and 6 for Dak, 4 fumbles for Jalen. So they have been playing very similar, but the thing about Dak Prescott is he has not been turning the ball over. He did a couple times in the first few games, and he was really at a high clip. And then he's, cleaned up his act, honestly. I mean, Dak's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year, and they're even talking about him in the MVP race. But I think the Eagles front line can get that pressure on Dak Prescott. It all comes down to coaching, though. Will Sean Desai pick his opportunities at the right times? Right now, the last couple of weeks, we're seeing this Eagles defense all over the place. They don't know what's going on. They're getting confused by pre-snap motion, and with a guy like CeeDee Lamb in the slot, they're going to move him all around. And he's been one of the best receivers in the league. So if you let him torch you, it's not going to be pretty, right? The Eagles secondary needs to tighten up. They need to find ways to make Dak, get off his game, off his rhythm. He's just been in too much of a rhythm lately. And, last time these teams played, nobody really got the run game going. I think the Eagles' open field tackling will be huge. That was one of their biggest weaknesses last week. They had Debo, they had McCaffrey, all these guys just running all over them, and they couldn't make any tackles. I think Shaq Leonard being here and Cunningham being back will drastically improve that, but the Eagles cannot give up, these big plays, especially on 3rd down where they have struggled. They're the worst team on 3rd down in the passing game. They need to get off the field. They need to keep the ball out of the hands of the Dallas offense, and they need to make big plays. We can overanalyze. We can look at all these numbers and these games and that. Fact of the matter is, who wants it more, man? Who's got the will? You're going into Dallas against your rival, your opponent, for a game that means so much. You got it handed to you last week. How will the Eagles respond? This is the first time all season that people are looking at this Eagles squad saying, how will they bounce back from this kind of adversity? If they go out there on Sunday night and they get embarrassed, people are going to be off the Eagles train completely. But if they bounce back and they win, even if it's tight, I think people will now go back to, okay, this Eagles team has what it takes, right? They've learned how to, deal with these type of situations. They know what it's like to lose in a big game and to lose these big games, but then they come back and they respond. They need to go out here and beat Dallas. I still don't think Dallas is what its record shows. They haven't beat many good teams. They do win at home, which is a little concerning given that you're going into Dallas and usually you do split. It's hard to win there. And this game is going to come down to a lot of different factors, but will the stars make plays, right? A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, almost identical as well. They have been 2 of the best in the NFL. Last time A.J. had a touchdown, CeeDee Lamb has been feasting every single week, right? Who will be able to stop these guys? I do think A.J. will show up big time. I think Devontae's been rolling, and now having Dallas Goedert back will be huge. But can the Eagles get DeAndre Swift going, right? Will the Cowboys get Tony Pollard going? Who will be able to extend these drives, run a lot of time off the clock, win time of possession, and not turn the ball over? Eagles didn't turn it over last week. They still got pounded, right? Eagles need to make big plays. They need to capitalize in the red zone. Will the big playmakers step up and make the big time plays in the spotlight? Everybody's going to be watching this game. Everybody's going to be watching this game, and we're going to really see if the Eagles are for real this week. and I believe they will bounce back. I think they will dominate, and I do think it'll be a tight game, but they get the win. I think the Eagles get the win because they have to, right? Your back is against the wall now. Not that you're, going to get bounced out of the playoffs or this or that, but in terms of expectation, right? In terms of living up to going back on that run to get to the big game, this is the one you have to win, okay? Niners won their Super Bowl last week. Don't let the Dallas Cowboys beat you here. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I do think the Eagles come out, and I think they get a big win, and they keep their spot atop the NFL. So give me your thoughts down below. I'm going to say the Birds win this game in a tight one. I'm going to say something along the lines of 34-28. Give me your prediction down below. Appreciate you all for tuning in. I will catch you Sunday night. And as always, it's Go Birds, and we hate Dallas.